Hey, YouTube. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when first we practice to deceive. It's just me. It's a real quote. I'm not being sarcastic. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Wally, Wally, Wally. All right, so now Wally is in the news this morning. Someone has released a tape. Wally, I will attach the tape of this gentleman giving his testimony to this video. Wally has been out there catfishing. Now, I'll tell you just like what I used to say in the streets when I was shoplifting. I used to be a booster. When I got busted, the reason why I didn't squawk and holler so much, when I got busted, I never ran, never tried to get away. Because by the time they caught me, I had already done this thing hundreds of times. So even if I wasn't guilty that time, I was certainly guilty. A whole lot of more times. He don't just catfish somebody and get caught on the first time. Right? So Wally comes on here talking about this the only time he did it. Well, we already know about Jay Wilson. He's lying. This is the one time he got caught on film. Or the person chose to come forward on film. This reminds me of a story. I don't know why this story comes to mind. Okay, I'm gonna give you this. Story. Now, this has nothing to do with catfishing, right? This is years before catfishing. This is years before computers. Years before computer dating. Long even before the little ads they used to put in the paper. When I was 19 years old, I arrived in Los Angeles. There was a season when I made a living as a escort, shall we say, hooker. Boy toy, whatever. I hustled for a whole summer, right? Did what I had to do. I'm still here in California, so I guess I did what was necessary at the time. This somehow reminds me of this story. There was this guy picked me up. Big old black guy, right? Somebody I would never, especially not at that age, not at 19 years old, but you ever be attracted to, right? But when you're selling your wares, and you're prostituting, it's not all about how a person looks. It's all about how you look and what they got, right? So you do it for money. It ain't great. I'm not particularly proud of that did that, but that's what it is. Sometimes if it's too hideous, you charge more money. Anyway, I picked up with this dude. The guy wasn't particularly old, but he was so big. He was a big guy. And at the time then, I was really not in. It never even occurred to me to have sex with somebody like that. And so we got back to my apartment, and I had sex with him. And I thought I did a stellar job, considering the fact that I had to really psych myself up to even do this, right? I felt like this guy, I had done my job. After it was done, I said, okay, we kind of, there's a moment, pause there. Then I'm wondering, why aren't you pulling your money out? Oh, I must have left the money in the car. I left my wallet in the car. Sometimes I put the money in the car if I'm tricking, because I don't want to have it on me. I said, okay, we go to your car. I think at first he tried to get out of the house without paying me. Somebody he'd bring the money back or something like that. We get out to the car. There's no money. There's no wallet in the car, right? So I said, well, we're going to have to get my money, dude, or I'm going to fuck you up. So we're going to get on the freeway now. He gave me some far distance, a place somewhere where I would probably not want to go. Or we got to go all the way to Anaheim or something, wherever. And then before we got into the car, I said, you're going to pay me more. Because I have to go through all this to get my money. You knew this before you even picked me up, right? And he said, well, I might as well tell you, I ain't got no money. What the fuck you mean you ain't got no money? I ain't got no money. I know what I did was wrong. This dude was taking his life into his own hands for sex. Conning somebody who he does not know. He didn't know what capacity what the capacity of my violence was, what he was subjecting himself to by going and making me let me have sex with him, not paying me, and come up with cockamamie stories about how he was going to get away after it was over. So I guess he only thought as far as having the sex, right? I was so angry. I don't think I've ever been that angry. I was so angry. He was driving. So he pulled the car off, and he got lucky. And I'm not a violent person, but that really did take me there, right? I feel like I had just been raped. This was the time they had boom boxes. So basically, I robbed him. No robbery. He owes me money. Took his little boom box and some other bullshit, tapes or whatever. But the point of that story, and why it reminds me of this story is, you're willing to risk your life, put your life on the line, subject yourself to whatever kind of drama you're going to subject yourself, all to have sex. Now, what did that dude think was going to happen when I wanted my money? This brings us back to Wally. Wally, you got this whole elaborate doxing thing going, right? You even call it doxing out your own damn mouth. The man called it doxing. And this guy, even though he was a queenie kind of guy, he looked like he wouldn't react so well to this situation you would put him in, right? But what were you thinking? Did you think that this guy's going to be romancing this fine man, thinking he's going to get this fine man when he got to the house, and when it opens the door, and then you standing there, he described you as looking like an Idaho potato. Maybe it's unfair, but you set yourself up for this. He called you Idaho potato. He said like you had sprouts growing out of your head. He described you as being something not of this world, even. His words, not mine. Something from another planet. Because you probably didn't present. They said you were naked, so that means the breast or everything was out. Everything was right there, right? You had the nerve to open the door naked. So Wally, you've done this before. This is not the first time. You wouldn't be that. You wouldn't know all of these different angles to play if this was your first time doing this. You had done this before. You were banking on somebody coming to your door, and thinking, "Oh, I'm already here. I might as well." And this is what comes out of Wally's mouth as well. You're here. You might as well do it, right? What if that man would have took off and started punching you in the face, Wally? I mean, do you really think you gonna open the door expecting to find Denzel? Just a name off the top of my head. And finding Wally with a towel wrapped around him. Wally. You're doing this at 29 years old. You're no different than that big guy that picked me up. Why would you put yourself in harm's way? And how do you think people are just going to, I guess it must happen. Sometimes people catch people drinking. Sometimes you see hookers on the street and you know they're so damn ugly. You say, well, God damn, how in the hell anybody going to pay you for sex? And then what they're counting on is after the bars close, people have had a few drinks. They look good in the shadows. This apparently took place in the daytime. Anyway, long and short of the story is Wally done catfished this man. Now, I say this man, but the man referred to his body parts as his pussy. You did all this to get the pussy? The pussy. So I thought Wally was attracted to masculine men. It never occurred to me that he liked girls. Shut up. It never occurred to me that I get these girls. And some of these girls... That dude looked like he would haul off and slap the shit out of Wally if it weren't for the fact she was afraid that she might break her nails. Wally, this is dangerous business you in, man. Dangerous thing that you do. You're 29 years old and you're already up to these kind of shenanigans to have sex. How low is your self-esteem where you feel like you have to use a decoy, someone else, fake people, and when you said the man is in the back? How you gonna explain that when the man don't come out of the back? Do you think this man's gonna get you're so sexy you're gonna romance him before he questions? Well, when is he coming out of the bathroom? Or when is he coming out here? There was no one else in the house. You played two roles. I don't know what part. Maybe you show only your dick pic or something and other guy's face. You organized this, Wally. You are a person. You're not an idiot. You have some intelligence and a lot of nerve. I mean, it takes nerve to do what you did, right? My guess is you show parts of your body, the parts that look like a male. You showed a dick pic or something. And then as the other person, you showed his face. So the person would think they were getting that. But why would you even want somebody like that? Why would you want somebody there's no attraction to you? This is crazy, Wally. I'm so embarrassed for you. But I know there's a part of your mind that doesn't get embarrassed. You can't be humiliated. You can come on here and people are going to say whatever they want to say about you, and you can laugh and giggle the next day. So that part perhaps works in your favor. But I don't know that you should be coming on here talking about you're bipolar. You're bipolar, therefore you're catfishing people online. What's one thing got to do with the other? I know people who are bipolar. I have a friend that's bipolar. When we go into a store and he starts buying everything indiscriminately, just starts buying a bunch of stuff, he's manic. I know that. That's a symptom of bipolar. I was so concerned about it at some point that I even went and looked it up. And yes, this was a common symptom, bipolar. People start buying a lot of stuff up. Of course, we all know this up and down moves. But I don't know where I ever read when I was doing that research that bipolar will make you get on the party lines and lie about who you are and catfish people and trick them to your house with no thought at all. What if a man just start tearing your house up? You said it's your cousin who lives there? And what was this situation? Your cousin? Why would you be fucking with somebody with your cousin? Isn't that incest? Wally, you ain't that horrible looking, honey. Don't y'all miss the days of the bars? The bars you saw if you like it, you took it home, you went home and you had sex. Or the glorious days of the bathhouse, you just walk around and you can see exactly what you're getting, even down to no clothes on. And if you didn't like each other, you weren't attracted, then there wasn't all this stuff about being attracted and so forth. And it wasn't all this trickeration. This is a shameful thing you did, Wally. Fortunately, this man just lived around the corner. It wasn't that inconvenient for him. But he seemed to be pretty upset. How long is it going to take before you pick the wrong one? You done catfish you a monster. And found your ass tied up and beat up in the bedroom and everything gone. Then you got to explain it to your roommate. What happened here? The Catfish King. Wally, find a different way. Go a different route. This thing you're doing is dangerous to your health.